Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to walk through 5 examples and 2 concrete reasons why I think Karl Anthony Towns legitimately makes the Knicks an NBA championship threat, and concrete reasons why that has occurred. Let's go. The overarching reason behind each of these is going to be the space that KAT's shooting provides. Because he's able to play the post, whatever, of 5 and also provide spacing, it puts so much more strain on the defense and especially on the defense's theoretical rim protector. So here we can see that Rudy Gobert is the one guarding KAT, and as he's guarding KAT, we can see that he's going to have to remain attached. And what this essentially does is it gives more space in the middle because you don't have the defensive player of the year potentially in the middle clogging up the paint, and you give Jalen Brunson, one of the best point guards in the league, the opportunity to attack in space, and he does it very, very well. Again, same concept. We're watching Rudy Gobert in space right here. Okay, so Rudy Gobert has to remain close. So as this ball is going to get moved to the other side, we have a couple things occurring. So first off, this cutter is going over here. This is OG Anunoby. So the reason why this is significant is because the player guarding him is Naz Reid. So if you had to put 2 rim protectors for Minnesota right now, it would be Rudy and it would be Naz Reid. So as this ball goes further over, we can see that KAT migrates down, but Naz Reid doesn't really notice this. He thinks that Rudy has to stay attached to KAT, and that KAT essentially is a 3-point threat, even if he's not on the 3-point line, that Rudy has to stay attached. That means whenever there's a breakdown in defense like Anthony Edwards expected this switch right here, we have a player coming downhill and there's no rim protector unless it's Naz Reid. So Naz Reid steps up right here. And so as Naz Reid steps up, the simple issue is because Rudy Gobert has to stay attached to Towns and Naz Reid has now left his player, we have open space over here, and we have OG Anunoby, who is a very good 3-point shooter, and we get the opportunity for him on a kick out and a wide open look at a 3. And the final example, and this is a reason why I think KAT's trade actually benefits the players around him a lot more than it benefits him in particular. Like, KAT's not going to score more points than the Knicks, but the players around him are going to be so much more efficient. Okay, so again, we're seeing similar concept. Rudy Gobert has to stay attached to KAT, so that means he cannot help off if Brunson drives. Okay, DiVincenzo has to stay here as well because they're guards. Some debate on that, but you have to stay loosely home. So who again does that put as the help protection? Naz Reid. Naz Reid steps up, and because Naz Reid steps up, who is he giving space to? Again, OG. Okay, this is a significant amount of distance. With good 3-point shooters, you cannot allow this amount of distance and not expect them to hit threes on you. Okay? The Knicks have surrounded Jalen Brunson with good shooters because they traded for KAT, and that is going to provide so much more open space on the perimeter and on the inside for Jalen or whoever's driving downhill. And so that is going to help the Knicks a huge amount on spacing. But let's go to our second area. Our second area is going to be how it affects the way the defense literally has to play defense. They have to change what their defensive coverage normally would be, and that makes things more difficult for them. So usually in this situation, Rudy would simply drop back. Like, that would be the majority of situations. However, because KAT is a 3-point threat, you need to have this defender stay with him. And because KAT is a threat from out here, you need to have a defender with him at that point. So as soon as Rudy has to engage at all with Brunson coming down, it puts strain on this defender, so he feels the obligation. He has to stay with KAT. He's like, oh crap. In this situation, he's like, KAT's too big of a threat. I have to stay with him. And so what does this do? This makes it so Rudy is guarding Jalen Brunson, which, if you're a Timberwolves fan, that is a major issue. So the Knicks don't really gain anything out of this. They get a kind of difficult shot later on. However, the point is that it provides more difficulty for the defense. They have to change what they're trying to do. And if you can get Jalen matched up with Rudy Gobert, it is going to be a win for the offense. It just is going to be. And so our final example of the switching, again, we're going to see a ball screen being set. Not a ball screen, excuse me, an off ball screen. And so because this is set, they're both big, so they simply switch. But again, this puts a mismatch because OG is going to have major athletic edge against Rudy Gobert. And if you give him space, which he now has because KAT is out here, Brunson is out here, shooter. So every defender has to stay home. And so that gives OG Anunoby huge amounts of space to work with. And there is no help coming because it gives up an open three if you help. And that is a dangerous situation for the Timberwolves, but a great situation for the Knicks, and he gets an open layup because of it. So the overarching concept is Cat provides so much more space for the defense, or for the offense, and it puts the defense in much more difficult situations. Because it puts them in these difficult situations, I think the Knicks are going to thrive, be much more efficient in the long run. And one overarching thing that I am curious to see is if teams put their Rudy Gobert, put their post player on Josh Hart instead of Karl-Anthony Towns. That is one prediction I have for the end of the year. Let's see if that occurs. Enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.